Excel2. So now you've got grades, you've got labels in these cells. Now we're going to actually format them. I want you to play with this and get a sense of how it works before we actually start using it to add and average numbers. First, let's work with a copy. Always work with a copy. You'll save yourself a lot of grief. That's under Edit, Move, or Copy Sheet. We're going to click first, Create a Copy, and it's copying the raw data sheet. Say OK. Now you've made a second copy. Click on this one twice. Click on the tab until you can select it and call this Formatted. So you've got your raw data and you're formatted. And if you mess something up, you could always come back and fix it. To format in Excel, you always have to tell the computer what you're talking about and then what to do with it. In Excel, everything happens in the cells. If I click on this cell, I've selected cell A1. If I click on this cell and drag all the way down to here, I've selected A1 through B7. Now this looks like it's not selected. It is. Cell A1 is still selected. You can see the highlight there. This lighter spot tells you where you started. And sometimes in the future that's going to matter. For now, it doesn't. You've selected this whole rectangle. So go to Format, Cells, because that's where the work is done. And we'll select Patterns. Select a bright yellow. And we're going to give the whole thing a border. We're going to give it a bold border. Select the border. And select the color, the red. But here's the sample of what you're really going to get. And you're not going to get anything yet because there's a third step. We need to tell it where to put that border. In this case, we'll simply say Outline. Now it shows a preview of what you'll get when you click OK. Now it's in bright red and there's an outline. Now I also want a red underline over here in these two cells. So I'm going to select them, Format, Cells. I've still got red selected, it's still bold, but I want it on the bottom. So by clicking on the bottom, it will give it just to those two cells just on the bottom. Likewise, I want this section to be blue. Select the cells where I want it to turn blue, Format Cells, and the pattern will be dark, dark blue right here. Okay. Now, the problem is you can't see the font. So let's clear up the font, and I've still got it selected. The font is in your standard toolbar, which really should be open. I'm going to make it bright yellow so it stands out, and align it to the right. All of these fonts I want to be in a dark burgundy. We can use the standard menu for this, and it's this one right here. However, these I want to, in fact, all of these I want to align to the right. The scores in B3 also align right, but the numbers, leave them alone. Numbers are automatically formatted because Excel will treat numbers specially. A couple more things to make this a complete copy. I want this bottom surrounded in red, but I want the black line on top, the line on top here, to be black. Format Cells, border. Let's make an all outline in red, but that top line should be black. So now I'm going to select black. It's still heavy, and just click on the top. So now it's giving us a preview of what it will put in for borders. Okay. One more little piece. Right here I want a faint green line going down the middle. Here's an easier way to do it. I'll select both sides, cells A4 through B7, Format Cells. I'm going to choose a green line, but make it a really fine one. And it goes down the middle because I selected the cells on both sides. So now you can see it's giving me a green line right down the middle of that selection. And that's it. We formatted it, save it. You turn it in as grade calculator, but make sure it's on the Formatted tab so we see the formatted sheet.